Great.
Man, when the realization came, it's such a, I try to ignore myself because in this year, at this time that I'm talking to you, I realize the worth of money. So I want to change the metaphoric phrase or the cliche around. When I thought I was on top of the world, like I said, I had the girl of my dreams, I believed. She gave me my son. We bought a new home. The dream cars was in the garage. We were both self-employed. Our credit was enormous. I didn't have to pay to get in the club. People don't understand that. I've seen multi-millionaires, billionaires that could come from Dubai and be in Manhattan. And there's a particular party going on in Manhattan. And they could pull up in a Rolls-Royce Phantom or Ferrari or whatever you choose as your car that makes you feel successful. And they could get out the car and the man can open the door. And you could try to walk into a party in New York City and you can't get in because nobody knows who you are. And you could pull money out of your pocket, but you got a house full of billionaires upstairs. So your money don't mean nothing. So the first thing you work on is your name. That's the first thing I work on. Who are you? What do you do? What do you stand for? So when I realized that having the cars and everything was with my major record deal when I got on Universal, and I had all those things, like I said, my son, his mother, my new home, money in the pocket, credit was good. So if you ask me, ball that up in a ball and just give you one sentence, I felt like I was successful when I didn't have to ask nobody for nothing. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it doesn't make a difference how you got to the table with money. The fact is that you're sitting there. And if you're sitting at a table with a group of men, that goal is to make money and be successful, 9 out of 10 you are going to be as well. When I found out that it wasn't everything. So I don't want to sit here and be contradicting and say to you, well, money ain't everything and money ain't this. Money helps, this is the only thing that makes the people move. Money is food. In the olden days, it was food. And people do anything in the world just to get something to eat. Look at it when the gas went high and people was running out of gas. The blackout in Manhattan. I lived in Harlem at that time on 118th Street. And I was working at MCA on 57th, between 57th and 58 on Broadway. When that blackout hit, we had to walk from 57th Street to 116. Feet sore, I had on shoes and hard bottoms with a suit on with luggage just getting off the plane and had to walk up there and it was black. No one could go to their ATM machine or their debit cards and get no money. So only the people with money, you got to do one or two things in the old days. You had to have something to trade. If there was no money, if you needed a coat and I needed an apple, we might could make that happen. I got 4 coats, man. I'm warm. But I'm sitting here and my kids are starving. And you have a bag full of apples, but you cold as hell because you don't have no coat. And if I come to you and say, give me 5 of those apples and I'll give you a coat. And then he comes back and say, that coat is good, but I got 3 children. But I got 5 coats, it's only one of me. And I tell you, I see you got some oranges in the back right there. Give me 5 of those oranges, I give you another coat. That's what my mind state is on success. It makes sense to you? So it's like money is great to feed. Use it as a tool. Use it as a tool. Because when I discovered the value and the meaning of having physical money, because credit is not money. You have the middle class and down believe that I got good credit, I'm great. But if you have money and you got good credit and you run out of money, what you gonna use? You're gonna use the credit. But if you can't pay the credit back, the credit eventually goes as well. So this is something that I learned, not that I knew before. Money, understanding the value and the means of money. So now I know money's not everything, but it's a part of the system. You get it? So because at a time where I got a subdivision that's worth 2.5 million or whatever record deals that I've had, and all of a sudden I've been in India at large technology companies creating synthetic oil in Bombay and Hyderabad, India, doing business with other Indian people that actually created ways of cutting the cost of oil that's used. And then you have to educate yourself, because I wasn't educated in it, but I spent almost 2 years in a house studying someone else's technology, because I didn't have time to sit up and pay $100,000 for school, so I had to learn it myself. So when I went in and learned the technology business, you know, same thing, the means. Everything is the means of money. So when I did all of that and it failed, I say it failed, not because of just my knowledge. No matter how much I knew, it was one thing I could not control. When the subdivision went upside down, it was because Bush went into Obama, and then Obama went into the stimulus plans and the AIGs and the Fannie Mae's. All start taking back interest-only loans. People start losing the values of their house. Your house was worth $750. When that time happened, it was only worth $350, but you owed $750 on it. So the mortgages were more than the houses were worth. So families abandoned their homes, and you found families on the streets or going to live somewhere else, if you remember those times. So with that subdivision thing and it collapsed, is that failure? Was that economy? Is that the government? Or what is it? My technology company, all those things were pressured. But I also believe that there's a certain things in the world that never stops, no matter how broke you are, how rich you are. People will entertain themselves, brother, if they the brokest people in the world with no money in the world. People love music. They'll go to the movies. They'll buy a DVD, man. They'll go on a corner and, you know, and whatever their vice is, alcohol, marijuana, white powder substances or white pill substances, sexual activity, God, religion, whatever that vice is, people will pay for it. Because it makes them feel like it will get them close to the lottery. I don't feel like lottery is a successful goal.
Why not?
Lottery is like throw a penny in Lake Minnetonka. Was that the one in Purple Rain or whatever the case? Jump in Lake Minnetonka or whatever, Minnesota? Yeah. Throw a penny or jump in Lake Minnetonka and see what happens. You go spend $1 and you trying to make $33 million. It's not saying nothing's impossible. There's some people who, without chemotherapy, live through cancer, and there's some people who take chemotherapy and die with cancer. So it's like, to me, I mean, in an interview, I don't necessarily, you have to put that in there, but you just get the freestyle of me. That's how I feel about Lotto. Let me go play this right here and hope that I win $213 million. Goes back to chasing ambition and what is success. You have no idea. You prepared to be wealthy. You never heard me say prepare to be rich. I say prepared to be wealthy. Because people don't understand. I'm prepared to be wealthy. All of these ups and downs and walk through the dark park that I've experienced, that prepared me to be wealthy. Because the higher power could have gave me this a long time ago. You know? I can't sit up here and tell you it would be a false accusation to me. It would be a false statement that I made to myself to tell you that I was the type of person that when I got a certain amount of money, I didn't know how to act. That's not true. That is not true. I've never been a person who doesn't know how to act. I don't go to expensive restaurants and come home at night and get up in the morning, and if I want an orange or apple or some orange juice in my refrigerator, I don't have it. I can't say that I'm that type of person. You know, I can't say that if I come home and I say to myself, let me go buy a pack of new t-shirts and a pack of new underwears because I don't have none clean because I'm that busy. I'm not that type of person. Some people say they were. I was always responsible. But I took risks. And my risk and my dark walks learned me a lesson. You know what I mean? It's you taking risks in this game. That when we chasing success, it's a risk taking, it's a sacrifice thing. And it can spoil your name, your reputation, and your health.